Today we're covering euro dollar. Haven't made a study in a little bit. I was just at my family's place down in Florida, and I'm on my laptop, so kind of like recording stuff on that's kind of crap. I am eventually going to buy some monitors and stuff for down there, so when I go down there, I can make more quality studies and stuff like that. When I record on a laptop, it's just ugly, and I don't know. I don't like it too much. But now we're back home on the setup, so everything back to normal here. I just want to cover what Euro's been doing. As we know, lately, directionally, it's been clean. It's just been tough entry wise. But today, being Wednesday the 31st, the last day of the month, there was some clean opportunity, honestly. So we'll go into this. Starting off here, we'll stay on the 15-minute. We can kind of just see everything as it is right now. But end of the week last week, we had a big bullish move coming off the back of running these lows. Okay, taking out this high, which tells me we've now induced buyers. Look at the speed in this kind of move too. There's no lows or anything. So every time we come to these areas, expect just false reactions because the next low, the next liquidity point is just going to be down here, right? Also from a retail perspective, as we know, where is this guy? Here it is. Since we've taken out this high, retail sees this as an area. Honestly, all these areas, right? This candle, we have imbalances here, this area over here. That's why price stalled here for a little bit, right? Induce buyers, and then continue selling off all the way down to the lows. Okay, and that was through Monday, early Monday before New York. Now coming in towards today, Tuesday, what did Tuesday do? Well, we went bullish, okay? Taking out some internal points here, had a pullback, continuation. So we'll mark this on here. Taking out previous high, okay? Why is this important? Well, since we've taken out this high, buyers are interested in these areas, okay? Even down here, these are all going to be traps, okay? We're not interested in buying this thing at these areas, as we know. So perfect, London, or actually, sorry, late Asia going into London, Frankfurt open. We ended up running this low. Not only this low, but look to the left-hand side. You have to ask yourself, why did this low here print? Where did we respect to the left? And we got this area here, okay? So price respected this area here. Now, if I just simply grab that low, look how we got a fresh imbalance right below as well. We haven't touched into. Drag it all the way across, and perfect. London spikes below, traps all those buyers. Check the 5-minute out. I believe some people took this. Yes, perfect. So look at this. Look at the volume. This move, the speed again. Okay, the next liquidity point is going to be this high. And as we know, this is an inducement high, so these areas are going to be traps, and that's exactly what happens. We get a big bearish move, sorry, to the downside, grabbing that liquidity, reaction up, and then we respect the high, okay, to induce sellers, pull back to the extreme, and mitigate the liquidity block. I would have grabbed the whole low, to be honest with you. And for this, let's see what kind of, because it looks like it would have been a little bit bigger of a stop loss, but there we go, the low. You still have plenty of targets. So look at the possible amount of pips we can still catch on a move like this, right? We're looking at about 45 pips, 1 to 7 RR, almost 1 to 7 RR. And then we also have this high up here, which we ended up running to. So personally, if I was to take this trade, first target, which is quite clear, is this guy here, the next high. Why is this important? Well, since we've taken out these lows, this low here, these lows here, this one over here, retail again sees this as what? An area to sell from. Okay, let me change it to red, just so we know red's the trap area. But yeah, this is a trap area. We're not going to be looking to sell from here. This is where retail is. Sometimes we get reactions, sometimes we just blow right through, which we ended up doing today. But again, this is where I probably would have been taking some heavy partials because you had almost a 1 to 7 RR and 45 pip gain. Okay, so that's perfect. And then we have to the left-hand side this structural point here. Okay, and looking at this from retail perspective, you have their structure high to low. And now, since we've taken out this high, what does that tell us? Well, trap, 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 and we're going to expect price to run the low down here. Okay, so that's what we ended up doing today, right at 10 a.m. Okay, so 2 hours into New York Open. we run that high, and we get a rollover to the downside. As for extremes at the end, or sorry, entries at the extreme, let's take a look here. Okay, so first trap occurred. I can see right here. Okay, we grab the low. We're not going to be looking to sell this thing because since we've taken out this low, we want to expect this high to go. But also, obviously, the high we marked up from the left-hand side. Okay, so we're still trading below that. Finally, we run up. We get a sharp reaction down. What do? We took another low. So again, we do not want to be selling this thing until we take out this. So what I probably would have been waiting for in live price action was a reaction down. Okay, respect the smart money trap, and then an entry there, right? So I would have looked for something like this. Okay, and we would have taken an entry here. Oops, an entry here. And unfortunately, it didn't occur. Left that extreme imbalance. Actually, we ended up tagging back into it. Did we respect? Here we did. So build liquidity at the lows for buyers. So we can mark that on. Respected these areas, build liquidity, and then we get that 1 minute inbound. So, I mean, stop loss, what are we looking like here? Let's see if this would have been realistic at all. I'm not going to be setting false expectations, right? So, 7.7 to the high, we go 8.2. Okay, obviously we went bearish for a while. As for first targets, honestly, you got to be looking for at least here, right? So what does it look like there? So we can sneak a 1 to 5 out of here, so that's not bad at all. You just got to be able to hold that through the news as well. But yeah, so it still worked. Also, I'm just realizing this now. My apologies. Is we have an M5 liquidity block, okay, which lines up with the entry we just took on the M1. So either one worked. For this, perfect. We'll drag this over. Now for the entry I liked personally. Right before news, we go to, I believe it was M15. Perfect. Okay, so news, what do? Spiked all the way down. Let's go back on the M5. Spike down. Okay, look what we do before the spike, is it? On M1? Yeah, we do. Okay, so I said this in the Discord, kind of what it was going on. Move this over a little bit more. There we go. Okay, so what do we got here? Well, price ran these highs, all these internal points, and then moved away ever since. And now you can kind of see we're building more structure for kind of retail to bring in more liquidity. And look what we do. Run the high and then dump off. But since we've now taken out lows to the left-hand side over here, what does that now make this high, the news high, and do some high? So let's see. If we were to take this entry here, this is at 581, we would have had to cover the liquidity block to the left-hand side. So that is roughly about a 10.2 pip stop. And you would have been able to sneak out a 1 to 4 to that low. I mean, to this low, you could have still got a 1 to 3 out of this, which isn't too bad. But then look what happens. You would have been able to, you would have had to manage the position, obviously, because when we sold off like this and started taking these lows, you're going to want to be able to either pay yourself or roll your stop. Why? Because after these lows are taken, we can easily respect the actual structural point down here, which we did, and go back bullish just to take out that inducement high, which when it ended up happening. We take out the inducement high, okay, so mark this, took out this structural point here to induce sellers. So where they're going to be selling, this is going to be a trap, okay, and then we want this taken. And if you look to the left-hand side, look at this unmitigated M5 area we ended up tagging into beautifully. Right there, perfect. Check out the M1. I believe there was actually a bullish move into it. We can cover as well. So price comes up, prints a high, low, high, and then we get a sell-off, taking out some internal liquidity here, mitigating. Look at this, like I know it's hard to see an M1, but this is kind of like a liquidity block on lower time frames. But we mitigate that Then we get a reaction up, same pattern, reaction up, smart money trap here. Boom. Mitigation of our liquidity block, blue, boom, just like that. Boom, just like this. Stock goes below 5.1. And there is an opportunity to take this to the news wick. 1 to 5.8. Perfect. Very, very clean, to be honest with you. And if you didn't want to, this is more of a counter trend, so that's fine if you did not want to take this. Then you wait for the high to get taken. We mitigate. Wow, we ended up taking out all the way to the M1 imbalance over here. If I put up this ray on, you'll see. Tag right into that 1 minute imbalance to the T. So a couple options here. You could have used the M5, which is this one. Let's use the ray so it's easier to see. This was the M5 imbalance. And then the top one is obviously the M1 imbalance. So you have two options. We'll use M5 to make it a little more realistic. 9.3, we got to go 9.8. Perfect, just like this. Move this over. And then to the low, 1 to 5, just like that. So very, very clean stuff. Honestly, look at the opportunities we had today. London Open, and then 10 a 2 hours into New York, I believe. Don't remember. Yeah, honestly, I didn't like anything early New York. Price kind of waited for news, which was fine. And then we had that sell off again at 2 hours into New York. And then price just kind of, look how we just built liquidity here, right? This whole area here was just price building liquidity in the market for news that came in the afternoon, right? PM session. But yeah, lots of opportunity, right? You have a long opportunity here, a short, a long, and another short. So very, very clean stuff. But yeah, that wraps this one up. Very clean day. Unfortunately, the last couple days haven't been like this, but we'll see going forward what it's going to look like. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this case study, and I will see you guys soon on the next one.